Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Disco Elysium with me, Bring It On. We'll talk to the pawn shop owner first, and then we will peruse the rest of his store.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop.
The man at the counter turns to you slowly.
What can I do for you?
He asks.
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting you.
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't had many customers lately, RCM or otherwise.
He flashes a smile.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Honestly, I think some of your selections are press your finger to your lips, more tasteful than others.
It keeps me entertained.
He responds, unimpressed with your snobbery.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what?
I can probably keep talking to him and see if I can get another bonus to this. There seems to be bonuses you get from the conversations you're having before you do the checks, so... there's something I'd like to sell.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Lieutenant steps in and hands him the spinners.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of his pawn shop.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump-a-mesque banger? No matter. I'll give you 200 real.
That's a very, very good guess. He marvels at the cobalt shimmer and nods.
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
Lieutenant explains as the pawnbroker opens the register and counts the cash.
Of course, I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again.
Thank you.
He takes the cash, then turns to you.
Here's the 130 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
The rest goes into his pocket. Or in his pocket.
The rest is for him, to compensate for the pain of being separated from his radiant spinners. The windfall is a small consolation.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Both the lieutenant and the pawnbroker turn to you. I'll check my pockets. Access your pawn menu.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
I don't know if any of these are worth selling or not. I've seen items come up in dialogue, like the kind green 8-pen. We use that to write down our notes on our ledger. I don't see the postcards coming up in conversation, and I'm going to hold on to them anyway. I mean, we're not hurting for money right now. I think even when we picked up the shot put ball, it said, hey, you should hold on to this. So I'm going to keep these. How do I back out of this? There we go. And we're not done with the photo of the corpse yet. I don't have anything to sell at the moment.
Another time, perhaps.
You might be able to aid in our investigation.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have.
Know anything about the recent hanging?
I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business. Bad for everyone.
He doesn't know anything.
I think you could help me get a corpse out of a tree.
The corpse behind the hostel, I assume. I don't have a truck with a mounted platform or anything of that sort myself.
He looks into the swirling lights, then to you.
Ask around the harbour. There might be some workers there who'd be willing to help.
Actually, that's all I've got.
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
By the way, do you happen to have any guns, like the ones carried by officers of the citizens' militia?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
Her. Alright, well hey, we made progress.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another. Alert.
Wait, I sold you my gun?
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
He hesitates.
And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off-the-charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
I feel like there's something you're not telling me.
You weren't quite yourself, officer.
He looks away. What was I like?
You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight, and that you need the money. When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it.
You sucked on a gun? Good. Very normal.
Wait, how much did I sell the gun for?
15 real.
Ooh.
The lieutenant looks from you to Roy, and then back to you. It's clear that he hopes this tableau might still turn out to be a bad dream. It's not, though. This has got to be the most. Wow. There's pity there, too, in case you didn't notice.
Yeah, I'm so sorry you had to see me in that state. We don't have to talk about it any further.
No apologies necessary, officer.
Was the buyer a policeman too?
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her.
Alright, so I think I know who this is. So if we went to the west of where we're currently at, before we reached the harbor, there was that spilled paint when we inspected it during the day. And our thought was like, I wonder if that woman on the balcony had anything to do with it. When we got close, she said, hey, up here, pig. I think she's the only person that's referred to us as a pig so far. So I think she's on the apartment balcony. So we go talk to her about this.
Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
The lieutenant turns to you.
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit a crime and blame it on the Citizens Militia?
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
He looks around, worried. Any idea where I can find this buyer?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
At least now I know how I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else.
Of course.
I wanted to ask about my missing gun again.
Sure thing.
Oh, thanks for the review. Let's talk about something else.
Sure, man.
Alright, well I didn't get a bonus to this, but we can try it. Oh wait, hold on. I have other business to take care of now. I have gloves that give me +1 to that.
Greetings on this fine night. What brings you here?
How come you're still open?
The pawn shop is always open.
Oh, and we got a bonus from coming back and talking to him again. +1 because Roy doesn't really sleep. Is Roy high? And if yes, then what is he on?
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Trollidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
Trollidon. What is that?
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Sir, could you take off your sunglasses? I'd like to check your eyes.
Why on earth? These are prescription. I can't really see without them.
He staggers away from the glass, but quickly recomposes himself.
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Interesting.
It's pretty obvious that you're under the influence, sir.
Trollidon is just something since the People's Pile disaster,
He frowns, and then he coughs as if to mark his words.
I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade. Had to take it for radiation sickness.
He's taken for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
The People's Pile. What's that?
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you too.
The People's Pile was a Type U particle decay generator that failed immediately after entering service, releasing radioactive waste into River Esperance.
What is a particle decay generator?
A primitive nuclear reactor, also called a pile.
Why is it called the People's Pile?
Construction began during the Commune of Revachol. The people continued work on it after the Commune fell. They wanted a cheap source of energy for Revachol West. Needless to say, things didn't work out.
Why did it fail?
An emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure blowing the turbine, taking the fuel containment vessel up in the explosion. Both the faulty design and lack of finances contributed to the catastrophe.
Tell me more about this emergency relief brigade you were part of.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized. Tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill.
He points at the white triangle in his orange safety jacket.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance. Didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick.
He looks at the spiraling light and stops. It must have been rough. Tough. Radioactive cleanup.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened. And why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile.
He hesitates.
So much disappointment. And early deaths. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could.
Whose fault was it that the generator failed?
No one's. Everyone's.
He sighs and shakes his head.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen?
How did you end up running a pawn shop?
The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it. So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forberg as I can. Still in the same city, but...
He shrugs. Well, thank you for telling me.
I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
He shrugs.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
I'm not interested in drugs.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Let your gaze run over the streetlight.
The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently.
Also, how does he get out of that? I guess there might be an exit right here to the right. I don't see a door. Must be a very narrow gap right there.
This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Is that a streetlight?
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
Where did you get this?
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property.
He leans in so the pawnbroker doesn't hear him.
You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
He pauses, studying the light. How much for the street light?
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
Even taking into account the risk of obtaining the light, that seems a bit steep.
There's also the matter of rewiring, but the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
Alright, well, we obviously can't afford that. So, there's nothing else you need to know about the light.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels.
Stand on the tips of your toes to see more.
One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
A shopkeep. The Stereo 8 approved machine here.
Is the Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
He says, what I really want to know is, could this device come in handy in my police work?
If police work means playing tapes, sure. You can use it for that. Or any other time you'd need to play a tape.
I think we have a tape player in our room at the Whirling in Rags, don't we? I still need to find that sad song before I can... There's no reason to buy this until I find the sad song.
Like a beach party. With sand and sun and seagulls dancing on the breeze.
I turn to Kim. Theoretically, could I bring it to a beach party?
Theoretically, yes. But we don't have time right now. It's generally murder investigation first, then beach party.
You're right, Kitsuragi. Work first, party later.
That is the unofficial RCM motto, yes.
It's not, sadly.
Are you sure this is all in working order?
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres. Even though I don't really like music.
He grimaces. Or that's all. Keep note that there is that here.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back.
Win her back.
Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine.
Inspect the knights on horseback.
Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks. The kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
Sounds like dragoons. Because dragoons, what started out initially as a cavalry unit, and they swapped to ranged cavalry, and then to anti-cavalry, or some variation of that. Point at the knights on horseback. Who are they?
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
He looks at the dusty figurines in the dim light.
A long, long time ago.
Inspect the blue uniforms.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
I'll point at the blue figurines. Are these royalist soldiers?
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours indiscriminately.
The man peers from his glass box. Inspect the figurines in rags.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
Point at the figurines in rags. Are these even soldiers?
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers.
The man behind the glass answers.
I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
It's meant to give people hope. Even we can do it.
Maybe.
He seems to have his own take on the conflict played out in perpetuity by these toys. Might be interesting to find out what it is.
Okay. We'll try this. 42% chance. Dig up a truly cool figurine in the box under the table.
Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say found.
What is this? Show it to the shopkeep.
Oh, that's the Headless Phone Rider.
Who?
The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head.
He points at the decapitated figurine.
50 cents. Bargain priced. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That part of the story has many interpretations.
He lost his cap when he lost his head. Perhaps he's looking for the head.
It's only 50 cents, so purchase a headless fallen rider and his cap.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you.
He grins. Step away from the table. The plastic headless fallen rider sits atop his equally plastic bull, his posture indicating another either desperation or pride. It comes as a set with the infamous fallen cap for which he lost his head. The head is not included. I can't equip it. It doesn't give me any stats. But yeah, if I find stuff behind stat checks like that, I'm probably going to prioritize buying it. Let's talk to him again.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
I was supposed to ask about that. It said something about asking him about the revolutionaries, but it doesn't look like that I can. Alright, so I think before going back and paying for damages and wrapping up the day, I want to see if that woman's still awake on the balcony. See if she's the one that has my gun. Because if she is, I would like to have it back. At the very least, if she doesn't have it. Well, that's new, right?
Just an ordinary wall. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
A lot behind conceptualization. But it's still a low check, it was like 3% or something. So I wonder what we see there. Signal blue naval coat. +1 suggestion, -1 half-light. This classic double-breasted coat suits everyone, including you. If you ever find yourself battling winds at the helm of a ship, then the coat's heavy fabric has got your back, even if moths have left a few holes in it. I need more. What's my suggestion at? 3. And esprit de corps would be at 3 as well. I can always swap it out if I see a suggestion check that I want to try. I mean, it looks pretty good. Don't like, I guess that's Kim behind me. It looks like his legs. They disappear when I do that. It's like it's bugged out or something. Alright, let's not worry about it. So there she is. Can I speak to her from here?
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The girl stares at the sailboat by the pier. Yeah, so she matches the description that the pawn shop gave us. She's scary. Cindy the Skull.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
We just want to know your name, little lady. No need to get defensive.
And here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you pigs.
Despite the sass, she puts the brush aside. You keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at?
She nods disdainfully toward the woman performing maintenance on the boat docked next to the pier. Hatred, disgust, it's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features.
The woman on the boat
The
does not
woman
note.
on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
She hisses.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershore. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
Who is she?
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing.
He nods in her direction.
You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozon.
What are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
She studies the wall, suddenly pensive. So you don't know what to write.
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cads. And my name's not Mona, so...
She wants it to be something true and total.
Why are you so committed to defacing the building?
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, you know. Summon the forces of crime and social chaos with a wall-sized invitation.
I have an opinion on this. Want to hear it?
Yeah?
I love public art. Don't mind us. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
She means the opposite. You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
Ah, see, reverse psychology. That was my plan all along. Do you know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
She wrinkles her nose.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Alright, catch you later, Cindy.
Watch your back, ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
Alright, I'm gonna have to actually go up there and talk to her. Because she definitely matches the description. I'm assuming this takes me back into the apartments. Probably on the first floor that I didn't go to previously. Oh, or this floor. Alright, let's go over here. Alright, I was wondering if there were more stories to the building, but it looks like you can only access them through the balcony. If she called me out during the day, I assume she'd have more to say than what she does.
Ooh, the piggies have learned how to saunter up staircases. I didn't think you could do that with hooves. But here you are.
Oh, that's right. We've evolved.
Yeah, I can see that. Cool mutations.
She crosses her arms.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil.
Is that heavy fuel oil?
Red dyed heavy fuel oil, intended for exclusive use in government vehicles, to be precise.
He says, studying the contents of Cindy's bucket.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back in Jamrock.
She really did it. She's proud of it too.
Fumes are bad for you, okay?
Something to think about next time you're driving around in your pretty little piggy carriage.
So, I wonder if I'm failing a check or something. It's preventing me from seeing the gun on her person. I'm fairly certain she's the one with the gun. But I have no idea how I'm supposed to access it. Someone's been sleeping here recently. Cindy? Enough coal to last for several winters. Smells of chemicals. Ooh, some jeans. Poor home laborer jeans? +1 electrochemistry, -1 reaction speed. Although these jeans look worn, the wearer must have had a butt given to them by the mighty Lord himself. That beautiful peach-shaped man butt has imprinted itself so deep in the fabric, you can't but wonder if wearing them would start molding your own vague rear side into a more shapely form as well. Alright, I think I like my yellow pants a little more. Well, they both give me electrochemistry. This is -1 reaction speed, and this is -1 savoir faire. I'll keep the reaction speed, I guess. I don't know. Ooh, 5 doubloons. That's no small find. I don't think I saw this door last time we were here, did I? I probably assumed it was another entrance to the apartments.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Is that bed in the coal room yours?
Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
Don't you have a real home?
Does anyone in a city like this?
She replies wistfully, looking around. Really? You're a miner?
Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens.
It's not the nicest place, but I guess it'll have to do.
It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all.
She looks at the paint dripping down the wall. Cool. I have other questions.
Shoot, Piggy. It's what you do, isn't it?
Still nothing about the gun. Alright, that's disappointing. I tried, darn it. I just want my gun back. Like, I'm like 95% sure she's the one that has it. Just gotta find a way to get her to tell me. I think our initial... Where's it at? Track down your gun.
Hello again.
Alright, nothing new there. Alright. Let me run. There we go. Alright, so I think I'm going to call the episode here, and the next one I'll speak to... What's her name? Joyce? And ask her about the murder. Because if she works with... Is it Wild Pines? That's who the union works for. The dock workers work for... I guess her? Well, no, they said she was a negotiator. She's not the boss. By the way, she works for the company that the union is striking against, so this should be an interesting take on the strike and the events. Keep forgetting I can do this. It's pretty handy. And also, I want to check one more thing before I call it. 71%. Alright. I'm going to call it here. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.